Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. I promised a Henry video, and here we go. I don't know where the screws for these are. I'm sure Harlan does. He'll be out shortly. But one of the nice things about owning a laser is you can use a laser. So, look at that. Now, unfortunately, they're not identical to each other. So my solution for that was to just take, because some of these holes were a little off, I made them slight ovals, and then I just cut, one to the left and flip one to the right. This is the Felpro Blue Line 32 mil. So when we place these, and I had them the way I had them because I want the blue up. See how nice those are going to fit? So because there's this dip or ridge in this case, you had to compensate for that as well. Plus, I know it doesn't show up well, that's not flat. You got that. So it took me a few iterations to get there. But yeah, that's one of the nice things. Custom gaskets. Okay, one of the things on our list is to check why the brake pedal feels off. Hopefully the master isn't bad, but because it has fluid in it, we're a little concerned. So I'm going to have him slowly push that down a few times, and let's see if we see any currents moving or if anything shoots up. Okay. Alright, I gotta put you guys down and go get a light. Well, once I shone a flashlight in it, the fluid looked nasty. So we just sucked all that out of there, and we're gonna go ahead and bleed all the lines again. I don't know what was going on. Now there's tranny fluid in here too, but we use that guy to pull that out of there real quick. It was had something in it, so it's one of the problems with a project car. Sometimes things get dirty. Well, we've been bleeding and bleeding. We did vacuum bleeding, we've done push bleeding, just not a ton of pressure. We do have a residual, and I verified that we have it going in the right way. So the next thing I'm curious about is this master sufficient? Is it the right bore size for what we're doing? I'm curious if I can even find out. I doubt there's going to be any markings on it. So unfortunately, we didn't select it. Well, one, getting that panel off, that was awesome. Two, see right there, I'm kind of at the floor, and it sure feels like I could move a lot further. So next time the car is on the ground, I want to measure the actual travel at the master, and we'll go from there. I'm really curious how much it's actually going. Okay, and just so I can kind of remember what things look like down there, I figured I'll show you guys too. Same on this side, so you can see why the access covers exist. How else could you do anything with the way this dash is with that roll cage? And I guess we haven't had these on since the paint, so I just did that one, but I gotta just run a chaser through. There's like a little buildup at the top, and I don't want any of those screws going in cockeyed or causing any stress. But look how nice. You can't even see the gasket. That's what we wanted right there. That's the kind of attention to detail you wish you always had. Okay, we're pretty confident that one's coming back off, so I don't have them all snugged all the way down because it doesn't look like it, but that's quite the reach. I'm a fat guy. I gotta lean over that giant fender and reach all the way in there, and I only get this little triangle to work through. Sorry guys, I completely forgot about the people. Been playing brackety games under here, so I've made a standoff bracket for the cooler lines here that I really kind of like, and I just made a bracket to come off this useless bolt to adapt to another one of those. I'm going to massage it a little bit by the header there, but you can see that suddenly made everything much nicer. I'm going to put a clippy clamp here, and then that shouldn't vibrate anymore. Pretty happy with that. I just got a little bend up here, and then I can go ahead and get those hooked up. Harlan's looking for one more of those little clips to go here, but I'm pretty happy with this. See, like I said, we put a clip there, very rigid, staying out of the exhaust. That should work pretty nice. And we now have hose clamps on the lower. Let's do the upper real quick. He went to go find a clamp for this end of the hose. We got a good one for this end, but look at that. That's that water valve. I don't know if any of you guys remember us making a bracket to do that, but that sure hides that out of the way. Alright, with that, gonna zoom out. I think that's gonna do for tonight. Not looking forward to filling the tranny. I think it's way back there, so that'll be fun. But we've got to fill fluids, change fluids. We've got a little ways to go, but this is remarkably complete. There isn't too much missing. There's some things that we're not happy with. That brake, so next time she's down, we're going to play with that a little bit more. But I want her on wheels and away from the posts, because got to swing that door open as wide as she'll go. I got a little fat. And, you know, we've tried every aftermarket clamp there is, and they're all garbage. So it's always just back to worms. They seem to be the only thing that ever works. So we'll go with those. Hopefully we don't got to pull that master. Wouldn't look forward to that. But we'll see. We'll do whatever we got to do. I know he wants to start thinking about spark plug looming as well. We may be able to get away with a couple of the ones that go off the covers that I know he likes, but we'll have to see how that'll go. That's on the maybe category. Let's see. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That is for the subwoofer, the one that's taped off. I actually got something done. Those cowl gaskets, those are going to work. We don't have this one down super tight because we figure that one's probably coming off. I will cut him an extra set just to keep in his book, because where would you ever get another set if you needed them? Tranny lines, I think are done, but we're not going to mark it yet. We've got to measure for drive shaft, but that's got to be under full loaded weight. Yeah, I got to fill all this stuff. Hanging the exhaust won't be too bad. Hose clamps, that one I can mark off. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully we can get this thing fired up this winter. That would be pretty freaking cool. All right, and ShopRex says, always have fun working on your cars. Try to be safe and eat all the candy.